So a few people have asked for an update. It's been a little over 2 weeks now, so I'm not sure if anyone is even interested anymore. I think for now I'm just confused about what's happening. If anyone has any advice or has some idea of what he's thinking, please tell me. After what happened in the last post, he said that we should put off the wedding while we decide how to proceed. That means something, right? He used the exact words put off instead of cancel and while we decide how to proceed. I think that means he hasn't decided that we should break up yet. Maybe he'll just decide not to marry but to continue our relationship. I don't think he's ready to give up our relationship yet, but he's moved into a hotel. I know some people have told me to give him space, but I've decided that even if a part of him is willing to stay with me, I'm going to do everything I can to give me another chance. I've been dropping off food, leaving notes under his door, and we've been calling every day. Sometimes twice a day. Right now we're both stuck in limbo. Most of the time we talk about how much we miss each other, the plans we had, and me convincing him that he's my soulmate, and that regardless of whatever happened with Andy, I know we would have ended up together. Then there are other moments where he calls in the middle of the night, having obviously been crying and asking questions like, what did he have that I didn't? Did you love him? Was he better in bed? Was better looking than me? Do you still think he's better looking than me? What does more exciting mean? Do you wish he gave you another chance? He says that he wants to be with me desperately, but when he thinks about me, it's seared into his mind that I was always his first choice, but he will always have been my second. It hurts him that we had feelings for each other all the way through high school, but the moment I met Andy, none of that meant anything anymore, which must have meant I thought Andy was worth my time, and he wasn't. It breaks my heart to hear him holding back his tears and trying to cry silently, but I swear I'll do anything to save our relationship, and part of that means not hiding anything from him. I've begged him to reconsider going to therapy, but he absolutely will not budge. Some of our mutual friends are saying that they're not sure if he'll recover from this, but I don't care. He hasn't told me to stop trying, so I'm not going to. I wish to God that I could go back and change the past, because I love him more than anything, including myself. It feels like I'm in some sort of surreal nightmare. Less than a month ago, we were laying in bed fighting over which of us got to name our kids, and now a seemingly insignificant mistake that I made 7 years ago might wipe away the beautiful future I want with Ryan. All I can do right now is be there and hope that he can give me another chance, but I don't know what he's thinking. I know this isn't a common relationship problem, but if anyone has anything they can give me, whether it's advice or even reassurance that things are going to work out, please tell me. He called an hour ago. Some of his friends found this Reddit post and showed it to him, so he called angry, asking why I would tell strangers about our personal problems, and how is he supposed to face his friends and family now after they all know that the only reason I'm with him is because Andy broke up with me. After reading the comments, he realized that it wasn't right for him to keep me in the dark for so long without making a decision. He's decided that we should go our separate ways so that I can decide whether it really is him that I want to be with, and that he wasn't just the convenient choice. For now, I can't describe how I'm feeling. It's like I'm so tired I just want to go to sleep forever. I know some of you have the impression that he's a horrible man, but this was just a small fragment of our relationship and doesn't reflect who he is an individual in the slightest. He's the guy who spent days learning about my major on top of his own studies so that he could help me study for exams and proofread my coursework. He spent thousands of his own hard-earned money to give my parents their dream vacation to Australia and insisted that I say I paid for it because they'd feel bad taking money from him. When my ex threatened to leak nudes that I'd sent him when we were together, I was terrified that he would leave. He took me out to my favorite restaurant and said that there was nothing anyone else could do or say that would ever affect how much he loves me, and then he asked me to marry him so I'd never have to worry about him leaving ever again. My fiancé is the best man that I've never known, and the assumptions that everyone here has made from hearing about such a small part of our lives is disgusting. And I didn't come here for people to convince me that he's immature, insecure, or any of that. I should have known better than to post here, but all I can hope for now is that he sees this. To my fiancé, I don't know what I can say to make this better, and I don't know if you'll be able to heal from this. What I can say is that you are wrong in thinking that I chose you out of convenience. I chose you because you're the most thoughtful, handsome, intelligent, and charming man that I've ever known. Every single moment that we've had together for the last 7 years, every kiss that we've shared, every bagel that we've split, and every I love you that I've said was meant for you and was an affirmation that you are and always will be my first choice. I don't believe that you want to cut our lives together short. I think that you are trying to heal from the consequences of a mistake that I made, and then I inadvertently set a fire underneath you by forcing you to come to a decision by making this post. Take as long as you need to do whatever it is that you need to do to heal from this, and I'll be here waiting for when you're ready to talk. If you decide that this is something that we cannot overcome, I would accept your decision, but I know we are stronger than this. I love you so much. EDIT2. I know this is starting to get really long, but he read my open letter and got in contact with me to say that he's not promising anything except that he'll listen. He still refuses to see a therapist because he doesn't view our relationship as strong enough that there's anything to salvage right now. However, some people here have expressed that they wish they could give him advice directly, and I've convinced him to talk to others who have experienced this and healed from it. If you've experienced something similar, please ask for his throwaway either in your response to this post or by PMing me. Thank you. Wife had affair. Did it in our house. Couch and own bed with her AP. She wants to reconcile, but I'm stuck. Hello, this is my first Reddit post ever. So I've been married 5 years. We've been together for 12 years. We have 2 kids, 3 and 7. About a year ago during the pandemic, things weren't great between us. We were growing disconnected, but things were trucking along. My wife was furloughed, had broken her foot, was homeschooling our eldest, and at this time her dad and sister were not going well with their health. So she was going through a lot. I ended up catching her in bed with a female friend one night, and things got explosive, and I saw on her phone messages from her friend Johnny that were obviously sexual and inappropriate. This guy is a former work acquaintance who lives out of town but comes here occasionally for work. He's a tattoo artist, and she had got a tattoo from him that week, and I let her go to his place for a get-together with friends. Even though I saw texts alluding to them having sex, she only admitted to making out. I ended up going through her Instagram and text messages, and they were deeply sexing, and things were taking on an S&M vibe. It was all so disturbing. I went into a rage, threw her phone on the ground. It shattered. So for 6 months after this, we tried couples therapy. She eventually wanted to separate. She gaslighted me the whole time, even though I was despondent and couldn't give up the fact that I knew they had sex, even though she wouldn't admit. I did all the things like trying to win her back and trying date nights and being better partner around the house. But she just wasn't ready. She was too connected to this guy. I caught her sexting him again in April, and she supposedly cut off contact with him. I went out of town in May to get some space, and she promised she wouldn't see him. While I was out of town, she texted me saying she wanted to give things a go, to not separate. I was so happy and came back renewed to get things back on track. Things were going okay this summer. She got a new job, and I asked her to block him on IG, which she did. But then in June I caught her sexting him again, and I lost it. Got suicidal. Called 911, etc. Obviously, very toxic all around. I emailed the guy after this telling him to leave my wife alone. A month later, I start getting emails from the guy's girlfriend, and things all started to come out in the open. Turns out, of course, they had sex that first time back in the fall. But the kicker is, on the night I was out of town, and the same night she texted me saying she wanted to work things out. Turns out he was in town, and she caved and let him come over, and they had sex in my house, on my couch, while my kids were asleep. She chalks it up to alcohol, past sexual trauma. So many reasons, but none of them make it okay, and I cannot stop thinking about them having sex. I know all the details, and I can't unsee it. Since it was all forced out in the open, she's determined to make things right and has been doing everything she can. But I'm stuck. I just feel it's unforgivable. But maybe I'm wrong. I do love her, and I really want things to work out. Our kids need us, and when things are good, we are a great team. I really need to know if things can get better. I am an overthinker, and I am worried that maybe I just can't overcome this. Thank you.